Okay, here we are with our first episode. I hope people like this. I'm scared.
I do too. I'm a little insecure.
I'm gonna pitch to the people to give it a chance.
We're underdogging it a
Listen,
little bit.
yeah. I mean, listen. You'll like it.
Yes.
And if that's not convincing, okay, picture it. Your commute to work, and you're just commuting with us.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound so dreamy? Yes. Here.
I don't know if dreamy is the word.
Romantic came to mind. Oh my word. Okay, here's an idea. The people can write in the DMs or
Get in
the
our
comments,
DMs.
get in our DMs, the Seapoint DMs.
Seapoint
Please
DMs.
don't find us. And tell us what they want us to talk about because...
Well, here's the thing, though, too. Like, people think we don't work, but we do.
Yeah, that could be a whole conversation in itself.
I do, too, because I had someone just ask me yesterday, maybe we should talk about this for a sec, for a hot sec, because I had someone say to me yesterday, I don't know what you guys do. Do you work? And I'm like...
I struggle with that.
No, I just, it's like we get paid to just be silly.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that for a second. As our opening podcast episode,
do we work?
Do we work? And to be fair,
might not be the best.
To be fair, we are not putting it out there like we do. However, maybe we can do a little convincing the people why we do and what we do, because maybe that's not. Here's the thing. We don't spend our time on social media showing everybody the boring stuff that we do. That wouldn't be entertaining.
You guys want to hang out with me when I'm editing for 3 hours?
Right. Yeah. The boring stuff that we do, it wouldn't make sense that we post that.
No.
Social media is meant to be entertaining, so we post the little bits of entertaining stuff that we do.
Yeah, and we have a very unique company culture here. Yeah. It's not normal. Right. Nobody in this office is normal.
Right.
It would be supremely boring. And it's like we have the corporate level skills, but the mentality is not corporate in the sense that people around here aren't like chained to their desks. They're not, it's...
And that creates such a good environment for working. Like, of anywhere I've ever worked, like, it makes us work harder. It makes us work longer. It makes us happier. It makes us enjoy. It makes me enjoy what I do. It makes me excited to come to work. Like, Sundays, I don't have the Sunday scaries. I really enjoy coming on all weekend. Could we stop texting each other about how excited we were to come into work on Monday? Like, and, some people just don't get that. Yeah. But we are working. So give everyone a quick synopsis of what you do here.
So I'm the creative director for Seapoint Digital. I've never been a big person for titles, though, because it's just, it's hard. It's hard to define, I think, because I do so many different things. But I do a lot of editing. I do a lot of content creation. I do a lot of training. Yeah. I've trained several writers and client meetings, but basically looking at all of the creative that comes through our agency and editing it, making recommendations, and I work with you sometimes, which is a lot of fun, on video projects and just brainstorming ideas, and it's just super creative. Everything I do is creative, though some of it is kind of, just like dry, boring, like grammar and, the editing part of it can get a little bit like
it's a lot of writing
technical.
And a lot of editing.
But it's a lot of mental stuff. But I love that it is 95% of my days are just creative. And I think most of the agency is creative. There's such a huge creative mindset here. Yeah. It's like even the strategy is exciting because it's creative, so it's not, I think you can approach marketing from a very corporate level and just from a very corporate mentality. Like it's all about the structure and the doing things by the book and by the rules. And then you have our culture, which is like, it looks chaotic. It might look messy. It might look silly. But it is so, it's coming from an agency full of creatives who have the technical ability, who have those technical skills, who are committed to the details and who can do the precise work, but it's made in such a creative spirit that it's just, it can't help but be fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really cool about the purposeful kind of culture we have here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to write about insurance, but we're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And we're a group of people that just really enjoy each other.
Yeah.
We get, we treat each other very well. We enjoy each other's company. And I feel like that adds to the fun. We can tease each other.
Yeah.
We can,
Mostly Tim.
Mostly Tim. Bill really adds to that. He lets us just like be silly together and he treats us all so well, and that adds to that environment of fun and playfulness and
no, it's great. And I think it's just so unusual because we genuinely do all like each other. And a lot of times we're texting outside business hours and
always
running ideas past each other outside business hours. It's like there's no mandatory overtime because we're automatically just throwing things by each other outside normal business hours anyway, because we're just like, oh, hey, what about this? Or I thought of this. And
we have so many work group chats going at all times, both with work or just this past weekend was like checking on each other's family lives, like intense stuff going on, and then also just work stuff going on. Like we're just always in communication, like by choice. Like, many times I check out for the weekend or my vacations because I just can't, but we're always all in communication.
And it was funny because when I first started here, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started and got introduced to the chats and everything, and I was like, my phone kept going off like every hour, and I'm like, but nobody's at the office right now. What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as I worked here more, like within the first year, I was like, oh, this is normal. This is like, you don't think anything of it. It's not invasive.
Right.
But it's just like, you don't stop thinking about. And I think part of it is the work-life balance, which is such a cliche, but it is such a big deal to everybody here. So we care about the life that our workmates have.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're kind of like, it goes beyond, we just work together. It's like, I care about the life you have outside of work. I want to make sure you're doing okay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Without it being creepy.
That's a good point. No, because we all volunteer information about our personal lives to each other, but I think because we do that, I understand, because this person has a child, or this person's husband's in the hospital, or this person's dad just died, or whatever, we are able to be more understanding and more oh, well, that's why they're not working this week or whatever.
Right.
And then I get that in return when that's happening for me.
Right. There's a real thoughtfulness in how we understand that what's going on in our workmates' life is going to affect their quality of work from week to week, what they're able to do.
Yeah.
And then there's a constant balancing work that's done.
Yeah.
Oh, you're dealing with that this week. Okay, what can I do to ease this so you can take care of that?
Yep.
And that you don't find that anywhere.
Right.
That's not a corporate mindset.
Right. Yep. And that's just our culture here. It works really well for us. And what people aren't seeing on social media is the boring work that's happening day to day. So So
we're hitting deadlines. We're winning national awards.
Yeah.
Clearly we're doing something right, and we have clients who are happy, it's working. It works for us. Does it work for everybody? No, but it also has a lot to do with the intentionality of it and the mindset.
Yeah.
And it's just a really great one here.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a little bit about the company. That's what you do. That is writing, primarily
Writing,
copywriting,
editing,
creative.
collaborating.
So what I do mainly during the day, I have just kind of a mismatch.
You do so
of
much.
So much.
You do like 5 different jobs here too.
Yeah, all things multimedia mainly. I head up the Matterport production and drone, and so I spend part of my time doing all the marketing for that, whether I'm on a job Matterporting or droning, or I'm here creating newsletters or blogs or any kind of marketing for that, or anything video production like this for us or for clients. Like I'll be making videos for our clients, or working with the creative team to create any kind of video type production for them. Or I'm often doing social media type things, creating content, mostly for us, occasionally for outside other clients. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm just a little bit the mother of this office and cleaning like a crazy lady and buying supplies and keeping everyone in line. So
Giving Tim something to do.
Giving Tim, just giving Bill, whatever. Last year rehauled the remodel of this office. Like painting and all that. Just whatever.
Yeah.
So it can be anything. It's like, but the boring stuff isn't what people see.
No.
Always.
And it's like, why would you share that? Why,
Yeah.
But sometimes we do, like we did our Inside Seapoint series, which is still ongoing. We just haven't done one recently, but we started that to kind of counteract all the hey, do you guys work at all?
Right.
Yeah, we do, but it's just like...
It's to help people understand.
It's
like,
we do.
This is the stuff day to day that's going on. It's just not glamorous.
And I don't think people can quantify creativity. Like, I think there's a real struggle for people to understand how that fits into what we do.
Or the importance of it.
Exactly. Like, they don't get that this is such a mental kind of job. Like, you are just, you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with analytics, you're dealing with SEO, you're dealing with all these, like, really intense, very dry, boring kind of calculations and strategies and stuff like that. And so it's very mentally taxing. It takes a lot out of you. And I think when you can be creative and do something fun, it fills up that tank again, in a sense.
Yes.
And so many times, I lost count of how many times we'll be like just filming something silly for social media, and we'll be like, oh, hey, I just figured out what to do for this client.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy, but I think if you're not in a creative job, or you're just you're just working a desk job that doesn't have that spark, it's hard to understand how that feeds into when you're doing that technical work. Like, it's just as important. It's just as vital. I really feel like you can have one without the other, but I think you can feel the lack of, you can put more of yourself into your work, I think, if you have that.
Yeah. It helps us, week to week. Anytime we have something to look forward to creatively.
And it draws the kind of clients to us that we love to work with. We love all of our clients. They're across the board. They're very different. But they all have kind of the same spirit, which, they have that kind of creative spark too. And we have to have both. That technical side and the, really getting down to it. sometimes it's like dead quiet down here. You're just in the zone, focused on a project and a task, and like we get real serious real quick.
Yes.
Like, and we just don't show that side on
We
social
don't
media. So
show
people
that
think it's
side.
just not there.
Yeah.
And like, we can't do this job
Yeah.
if it wasn't there. We wouldn't be here after 12 years
Right.
if we were just
Yeah.
goofing
And
off.
the whole point of social media is to entertain. And that is part of
Yeah.
what an agency does.
Yeah.
Is to be silly, is to create dumb little TikToks, is to create goofy
Right.
little memes. Like that is one
Right.
aspect of what a digital marketing agency does.
Yeah.
So that is work. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like
Yeah.
it, but that is something we should be doing to be
Yeah.
on the digital marketing scene, to show that we can keep up with the social media scene, that we know how to use it, that we can use it for our clients, that
Right.
you know what I mean? So it is part of it.
Yeah.
You know, even though it might seem goofy, it might seem silly,
Yeah.
it might seem dumb.
I think people might resent that we enjoy what we do.
And sometimes
I do feel like there's some Karens out there that are like,
but you know what? I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. But a couple people who have come to work here, who now work here, have told me that they were those people. And that they thought,
I wanna know now. You have to tell me.
off recording,
Off camera.
maybe they will step
Fill
forward.
me in.
Step forward. Maybe we can drop names. But they have said, like, it seemed kind of like an annoying, like, oh my gosh, those people at Seapoint. and then when they were offered positions, I'm like, you
like,
were just jealous, huh?
Mm.
You just wanted to be here, huh?
Tired
And
of
then-
hating your job?
Uh-huh.
Come work for Seapoint.
We should have a bit of
We should do some ads like
an
that.
ad, like yeah. But no, not to be too whatever. Like,
No.
we're the best or whatever.
I would be very curious to know, and I feel like we should put it out there and see if we get any kind of response, because I would like to know if any other agencies who are very active on social media and do like silly little posts like we
Yeah.
do, do they get the same question?
Yeah.
They must.
Well, you know what I think?
Don't you think?
You know what comes to my mind is like Duolingo. Okay,
Right.
I know they're goofy, stupid, crazy, bizarre social media. I see it, but I know they're working.
Right.
Look at their company.
Right.
And so no one's asking them, do you guys actually work over there?
Right.
Because obviously they do.
Right.
Um,
But
and-
like we got questions immediately after winning one of the biggest awards
national
for
awards,
insurance.
and we win it every year.
And it was like, do we work?
Minorly
No,
insulting.
people are just giving us trophies for
People-
showing up.
We
'cause-
just get these massive national awards
Right.
for nothing.
Right. Yeah, we didn't do
Yeah.
anything for that.
So it is. So anyway, the
Yeah.
point of this podcast isn't that. That was just side point. But
Right.
our point moving into this new series is number one, like I want to try new things this year.
Yeah.
I'm always looking to grow. I want to move with the scene. We've been talking about podcasting for a long time. In my personal life, I've been exploring with podcasting with a friend, and I have been podcasting with him. It's been going really well. And so, yeah, I've been enjoying it. And I felt like it was time for us,
Yeah.
get more
We have
content.
stuff to say.
We have things to say. We're hilarious. Like, people should listen.
People should just come hang out with us.
But more than
'Cause-
that, I want to get people from other companies, other agencies,
Yeah.
business people, our friends, whoever that want to have conversations and interviews with us, because I feel like there's so many valuable things that we can learn from other people, talk about with other people, and it doesn't need to be hour-long conversations, but I like the interviews that we've done even in the past couple of months. Like I so enjoyed like talking with Tina, and so yeah, I think it's just such a good idea too.
And I think it's really important too to tell more of the stories about how people are reaching their goals and how they are advancing in their industry, in this industry, or in their role within marketing
Yeah.
outside of the norm.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
this whole generation coming up, they are just transforming how business is done, how productivity is measured.
Yeah.
Like, do we have to be working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5? Do you have to, are you only successful if you're in college for 4 years and then
Right.
come into the industry? Like,
Right.
no.
Yep.
So many people, are going through the college process. This isn't like an anti-college rant. It's not it. But there are just so many stories of people who are, this isn't what they went to school for,
Yep.
but they are so successful now.
Yeah.
And so I feel like those stories are so important and they're so relevant. And I think that would encourage a lot of people to hear those.
Yeah. And we got a comment on TikTok recently of a young person who was really motivated and inspired by one of our women in marketing videos.
That was awesome.
And that alone was what I needed to be like, that's it. We're doing this because if we can inspire anyone to be like, especially young people who want to move in a direction, but they feel nervous, they feel like they're not qualified or
imposter syndrome,
whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we can get someone on our podcast to be like, here's how I did it, you can do it too. I'm like, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So anything anyone can learn from someone else, I love that. And motivating someone else, inspiring someone else, I'm all about that. So that's our goal. That's why we're doing this.
Come with us.
That's why you should listen. If you have things we should discuss, tell us.
Hit us up.
And if you want to just make fun of us, that's easy.
We're here for all of it.
We're here for all of it. So come along on the journey with us. It's going to be a wild ride. So, all right. Until next time.
Bye.
Until next time.